Hello, this is the final video in this present series on Shaykhism, and it's bringing together just three short notes essentially on aspects of Shaykhism since the 1940s. So it brings together three items, two short articles by Denis MacEoin on two of the Shaykhi leaders, Hamadani Shaykhi leaders, and then the final section from Denis Hermann's long essay on Shaykhism, discussing Shaykhism since the Islamic Revolution. I've already talked about the authors in previous videos, so I won't do that again. The first section we'll look at is a short essay, short article on Abd-Al-Reza Khan Ebrahimi, by Denis MacEoin. So first of all, Haji Abd-Al-Reza Khan Ebrahimi, he was the fourth head of the Hermanni branch of the Shaykhi school of Shi'ism. He was born in Hermann in May 1897, the son of Haji Zain Abuddin Khan, his predecessor in the office, and the grandson of Muhammad Karim Khan Hermanni, the first head of the Hamadani Shaykhis. His family had close links with Qajar House and hence with most of the governors of Hermann during the Qajar period. His great-grandfather was Ibrahim Khan and Zahra Dole, a cousin and son-in-law of Abd-Al-Reza Shah and governor of Hermann from 1803 through to 1824-25. His grandfather, Karim Khan, was married to a daughter of Muhammad Quli Mirza, the third son of Abd-Al-Reza Shah, whilst two of his granduncles were married to other daughters of the late Shah. His own mother was the daughter of Haji Muhammad Quli Khan, son of Musa Khan Qajar Kavanlu, and Tegun Khanum, a daughter of Abd-Al-Reza Shah. Most of his childhood was spent in Rafsanjan, to the west of Kerman, where he studied under Agha Mir Muhammad Davani. In 1906, he was brought to Kerman by his father to study the traditional sciences under Ahmad Bahman-Yar. During the latter period of the Constitutional Revolution, Bahman-Yar was forced to leave Kerman for Mashhad, but his elder brother Muhammad Jawad assumed responsibility for the boy's education, teaching him logic, usul and fiqh. Following Muhammad Jawad's death, Abul Qasim began to associate more closely with his father, Zain al-Abidin Khan, attending his public classes and composing replies to his more straightforward correspondence. During this period, he began to write on usul, on fiqh and logic, submitting his his efforts to his father for correction and developing his own views under his father's direction. A general ejazeh was given him by his father in 1930, and on the latter's death in 1942, he succeeded him without contest to the headship of the school. As leader of the Shaykhi community in Kerman, Abul Qasim Khan devoted the bulk of his time to teaching at the Ebrahīmī madrasa, preaching, writing and cataloguing the works of his predecessors. His own works are comparatively few in number, amounting to only about 23 titles, including translations and collections of sermons. Several of his works are of importance, however, and three in particular have been discussed by Henri Corbin, with whom he was in close and regular contact. See the article for details. But his major contribution to the systematization of the Shaykhi school may be his compilation of a well-organized and comprehensive catalogue, which contains details of the lives of the heads of the Shaykhi school in Kerman, together with a full listing of works by them, both printed and in manuscript. He died in the course of a pilgrimage to Mashhad in 1969 and was buried there despite objections from the local ulama. He was succeeded by his son, Abd-Al-Reza. So Abd-Al-Reza is the subject of Denis MacEoin's second short biography here from Encyclopædia Iranica. Again, the details are on screen. He was the fifth head of the Kermani branch of the Shaykhi school, the eldest son of the fourth head and the great-grandson of the founder, Muhammad Khan. He was born in Kerman in December 1921, studied there before spending a year at Agricultural College in Tehran, and then returned to Kerman and engaged in theological and Arabic studies with his father and Ahmad while himself teaching at the Ebrāhīmī madrasa. Following his father's death in November 1969, he succeeded him as sole head of the school. He continued to control it from his headquarters at Salsaville while giving classes at the madrasa and preaching at the Zahir Dawleh Mosque. Although family prestige gave Abd-Al-Reza a respected position in the town, orthodox hostility towards the Shaykhi community and towards him as its head persisted. And following the Islamic Revolution, he was killed in December 1979. Let me note here that there is a difference between the account of the death given by Denis MacEoin and that given by Denis Hermann. And I've checked with other sources, and Hermann seems to have the right of it here. So there's a 2-day difference in the dates they give for the man's killing, and whilst Denis MacEoin says that he was executed, then Denis Hermann says that he was assassinated. So I think we'll go with the date of the 26th of December, which is Hermann's date, rather than the 28th of December, which is MacEoin's date. Several of the works he wrote in keeping with Shaykhi tradition have been published. Best known are his works on conduct, government, in defense of Shaykhism and its relationship to the modern era, and on the authenticity of a particular significant prayer. His principal claim to fame, however, lies less in his own writings and more in the success of his efforts to establish the Sa'adat Press, devoted to the publication of the works of the school. Under his close management, the press undertook a highly ambitious publishing program which has produced all the major works of the Hamadani Shaykhs and has commenced the publication in modern editions of the works of Sheikh Ahmad and Sayyid Kazem. An ancillary program has created an important microfiche record of manuscript materials. His initiative is also responsible for the widespread distribution of these publications and microfiches to libraries and universities throughout the world. Then finally we have the final section of Denis Hermann's long article on Shaykhism from the Iranica. And this is dealing with Shaykhism since the Islamic Revolution. The advent of the Islamic Revolution in Iran in 1978-1980 brought about profound changes in the history of Shaykhism. The new regime banned Hamadani Shaykhism, closing the publisher Sa'adat in Kerman and the Ebrahimi school. The Kermani Shaykhi master of the time, Abd-Al-Reza Khan Ebrahimi, was assassinated close to the mosque by unknown assailants on the 26th of December 1979. After Abd-Al-Reza Khan's death, Iraq became the main center for the Kermani Shaykhis. There are now many towns in Iraq with large Kermani Shaykhi minorities, and the current master of the order, Sayyid Ali Musawi, lives in Basra. I understand that he's been replaced now, but anyway, I don't know about that in detail. It's hard to estimate the number of Kermani Shaykhi disciples in modern Iran, but it seems as though they're continually decreasing. Meanwhile, in Iraq, the Hamadani Shaykhi community has been growing over some 30 years. The Shaykhi community in Basra is one of the largest in the city, holding up to 12,000 people. An extensive enterprise of translating Persian works into Arabic has been undertaken in Iraq, and a website has been created where some of the works of the school, from Sheikh Ahmad Asari onwards to contemporary Shaykhi leaders, are available online. As to the other branches of Shaykhism, the most active member of the Tabrizi branch, Sheikh Rasul Al-Qaqli, has lived in Kuwait since the second half of the 20th century, and there they published many works. They have a major mosque in Kuwait City, and they also have centers in Saudi Arabia, including in Al-Azhar. They're relatively uninfluential in Iran now, but they have succeeded in extending their influence into Pakistan, where they published various journals. This outreach has provoked many debates and tensions amongst the Pakistani Shi'i ulama. Finally, we have the Hamadani Shaykhis. After the Islamic Revolution, the Hamadani Shaykhis were not repressed to the same extent as the Hamadani Shaykhis, and were able to reprint the complete works of Muhammad Baqir Hamadani and some of his disciples. The current head of the school, Haji Said Ahmadpur Musawiyan, lives in Mashhad. The Hamadani Shaykhis also have the Husseiniya in the town of Baghdadiya. It has become their principal center in Iran. The school has several groups of adherents in various parts of Iran, and unlike the Kermani and Tabrizi branches, they haven't reached beyond Iran. So thank you for listening, and particular thanks to my patrons for their kind support and encouragement. You're very welcome to support my channel if you so wish. Please do like, comment and share on the videos. It really does help. Subscribe if you want to be notified of future videos. I'll give a Patreon link below in case you want to provide practical support. This is the last of the present series of videos on Shaykhism. If I have time next year, there's a couple of other articles I want to review, but that depends on time. Next week we'll move on to an entirely different subject. This is an old paper I wrote on a Baha'i view of human rights, which was recently published, and that will be a series of videos. Have a good day.